yeah, he's alive. Petra clearly died there, or maybe she did survive. But I mean, the chance of Petra surviving is probably very low, right? At least she was like under some debris there, but she might be alive, but probably not. So obviously he wants to die there, right? And we can assume that Fredrica is dead too, right? Most likely. But I don't know. Maybe. I don't think they're gonna like kill off all of them. Because I mean, if he doesn't die here, if Sabaru doesn't die in this episode, or I mean this life, I mean, right? If he doesn't die here, then him and Biako is gonna survive, then everyone else is gonna be dead, right? So that's gonna be like Rem, Petra, yeah, I don't really buy that he won't die in this life and not, come back to where we were in the episode. Because it'd be way too many deaths, right? But yeah, so let's go back to the furry form. Of course, Fredrica showing off her furry self. It was nice there. She kept, having great assets, right, in her furry form. Yeah, I was like, but that was very anime too. She's like, I have to fight for real. It's like, it's very anime, right? It's like I gotta fight you first. I gotta rip off my, my maid outfit and get like, show off. And Subaru is like, whoa, there's some nice furry oppas, yeah. And then of course turns into full beast. And so previously she did this like half beast thing, right? She was fighting Elsa here, and you can see her into that full form thing. But she's probably a lot weak, right? Probably get owned. She jumped in there pretty quickly. And in my opinion, I think it was a little stupid, right? As I mentioned, the reaction there, that she's after this in here, she just jumped into the room they escaped. That would be the last option I would do. If I'm gonna go fight someone and I escape through that door, I wouldn't use that door to jump in again. I would try to go around or something. Right? Usually you don't want to take the same pattern again. Like if it's kind of bad, right? And probably waiting for you and like dark there inside. Yeah, if it's a little stupid or like the usually the dumbest strategy to jump in that path. But anyway, she does that. I guess she got owned off screen, right? And then we see the beast, right? And I think the beast thing, as I talked about in my opening reaction and session and so on, and review of the opening. In the opening, you do see, of course, the main baddies episode, right? And you see some of the other, the scenes and whatever, yeah, these kind of other bad guys, right, antagonists, so to speak. And there is clearly, I would argue then, in the opening at least, but I think it's pretty clear, you do have another female character, right, that has control over beasts, right? That's pretty like given by the opening. And she has like these kind of beasts, right, a lot of bats behind her. So I'm guessing that it's not only there are at least two, main antagonists here, right? Or main, like two strong antagonists, whatever you call it, in here fighting, right? It's Elsa with the whole bowel hunting, but also then the demon controller, right? The mabeast demon controller. She's also probably here, right? And this is probably the character again we saw in the opening. But I don't think we've ever seen that woman though in an actual episode, but she was in the opening, and she's very likely, of course, the controller of the previous, Hellhound thing, right? This is the one, right? So it's probably back to her again. But with all the bats, because there was a lot of bats in the opening too behind her, so that's probably her controlling this beast, right? Or sending them there or whatever. So she's part of this thing. And I guess the beast was the one that actually killed Petra, probably. But yeah, that's pretty gruesome, right? Petra's hand secreted Subaru, and it's interesting, like POW vision there, right? You see him in everything is red and so on. But again, I have a hard time seeing that, even though Beatrice saved him, I have a very hard time seeing that he won't actually get to replay this thing, because I think we can almost safely assume, not 100%, but probably that Ram also died. So, Ram, Fredrica, and Petra dying permanently if you can't go back, right, to the save point. That seems a lot. That seems like a lot of people dying in this one save. So I don't buy in that. I think we probably are gonna get back to the same thing that we kind of were previously, back in Sanctuary, or maybe a little further back. But yeah, interesting episode. Fredrica had a cool power too, she can fight with her hair. That's right, grab my hair. Yeah, it's like, grab my hair, girl. Like, pulls her. Yeah, I like that thing. Yeah, like, triggers at her, like, yeah, it's like, grab my hair, girl. It's like, yeah, I can throw you over this place with my hair. So that was like a nice power there, yeah. But I guess it's because of her. Yeah, I guess I gonna drop the theory last week. But I mean, I was only half serious with that theory last week, right? But I still think that, like we saw it last week and this week too, when there's so much discussion about Fredrica being the traitor, I was like, could she be with Elsa, right? Or be Elsa, whatever. One thing though, which you can try out here though, is that in this episode here, give his comment here, right? We do have, someone, right, is controlling the beast, right? Someone's controlling the beast, right? Someone's controlling this demon beast, right? The mabeast. That could be Fredrica. I still don't trust this woman, no, but I'm like, that could be interesting. It's an interesting idea that I'm thinking about here, right? I'm so paranoid with Fredrica because like she's like, I will fight her, right? And then she jumps into the house again in the dumbest exit, like into the house. And then the very next scene, we see them. Oh, here's a mabeast. Why did that demon appear from? Like, why is a demon beast here now? So Fredrica could be the demon beast girl, right? She could be the one controlling all the demon beasts. I will not budge on my paranoia for Fredrica, but I mean that could be a thing. She could be like, oh no, she's actually controlling all the demon beasts. Probably not, but I mean, still, it's a little suspicious that she leaves and then suddenly another beast returns. Or I mean, she could be the beast, right? She could be maybe controlled by someone to turn into that demon beast. But I'm saying that it's kind of like she jumps away in the very next scene. Here's a demon beast. It's like, yeah, what did the demon beast? And they look very similar, like a cat, demon beast, a coat, yeah, it's like interesting. But yeah, the hair thing is pretty cool because of the hair and so on. Then of course she shows her assets, and we see Sabaru standing there and staring at when it's happening. Yeah, there's a pretty good scene, and Sabaru is like, furry! Furry! Yeah, you see, I mean, even Ram is like, those are pretty big, yeah. Furthermore. So I think it was an interesting scene, of course, with Ram, and I kind of like it actually. But she's like, Ram would done the same thing. I like it. She's like, I don't remember my sister, but I'm sure she would abandon me if I didn't have any. If my brain was dead, I was like, in coma and my soul is gone. I am sure my sister would have abandoned me to save you, whatever. It's like. Yeah, she probably would, right? Even if she really loves, of course, her sister, her Ram, it feels like Ram also would be like, no. If she can't use her powers anymore, she's basically dead. We have to, move on. I feel Ram would do the same thing. Yeah, I feel she's they're both pretty pragmatic, right? So it makes a lot of sense in a way, and we didn't really get to see Ram's actual reaction inside, right? A little bit like a little bit flashback there, or whatever I call it. When she was looking at Ram there, like a short second there. But it's like a weird thing, right? This whole Ram thing now, because Ram is like, oh, I don't know this girl. Like, I have actual zero emotions for her, right? But she's like, I know that it's probably true what you said, because we have the same bloodline. Like, I can feel like her demon, the Uni blood or whatever. I can feel we have the same magic or something. So I know it's probably true, and obviously they look the same. So she's like, she looks like me. We both have this, the appearance, or we are twins, and at the same time, she of course has no emotional attachment to her, right? And Ram is quite a rough girl, right? Very pragmatic, very much like your teeth stinks. Yeah, she's like, she talks to Fredrica, she's like, your tea is horrible. It's like, it's Ram, right? She's like, that girl, my sister, she's dead to me. She's not alive anyway, yeah. So I think that was. It's a good part there, and I think it makes sense, right? It fits the Ram personality to be like, well, if she's dead, right? Basically, that to me. She's in this coma. What can she do, right? Let's just leave her, right? Something like that, right? I don't know, but Garth. I feel Garth is like, but Garth, and I'm a little biased with Garth because he looks like and sounds like Bakugo, but I feel that. I feel with Garth, it's like Barf, yeah. It's kind of similar to the Bakugo. I feel there's a little bit Sundra, a little bit Sundra. He's like, his opinion about Subaru, I feel, has been better, right? I mean, he says like, I don't like you, but it's more like, I don't like you. That's kind of how I read it. It's kind of like, I don't want to admit that I like you. That's kind of, how I feel about it more. Like, it has a little more honest there, but it's not that. Yeah, it's probably more of a Sundra thing. It's like that's a decker, right? But I will say, I absolutely am a little biased then, based on that, he is, and the same was of course as Bakugo, and kind of similar thing, right? So I got a good image of him here, It's a little bit of that. This is like the perfect image of him, I think. He was a little half angry at him. This one here, this is like classic a classic Sundre face, you know. He's like, I mean, I don't really like you, you know. Like this is a classic Sundre face, and he's doing this like, you know, the arms are crossed. It's like, I mean, if you say so, you know. It's like I'm kind of half angry, but not really angry at you. Yeah, it's like, you know, he's that isn't to me. It's a Sundre. He has that Sundre feel to it, you know. I'm the princess, yeah. Screw you, princess. You know, it's kind of that kind of way, right? Definitely. So I think it's a little bit like that. I think it's a little more honest. But that's Beatrice thing though. That's one thing I want to say. The last thing here for the review here. I always find that so strange with Beatrice, with her whole powers and so on. Like, why is Beatrice not helping them before? I think that's the biggest for me, Beatrice, right? Why isn't Beatrice ever helping them before? I'll say it again, but I mean, like, she saves Subaru at the end, and he's angry, right? Because he wants to die, right? He wants to die so he can save Petra and so on, right? And then she saves him. Why couldn't she be like, oh, we're being attacked. I'm just gonna protect everyone from these like crazy people. I'm gonna protect this furry girl and so on before they die. Like, why hasn't she done? I'm gonna save the little maid girl, little Petra girl. I'm gonna save the innocent little girl before it happens, right? But he's like, nah. But then she says him, yeah. So the Bea thing, we need to really figure out why she can't just do shit. But it's a really weird thing with her. How will he die? Maybe he should kill himself. Maybe he's gonna delete himself. I would like that if Bea is like, I need you to be alive because of the, you know, because you have the sin of this thing and so on. I think Bea is probably stronger. I think there's a lot of weird things with Bea. Bea, I think has a lot of weird things, right? And I think that Bea might be one of the sins or whatever, yeah, or maybe one of the witches, yeah. Like Bea for me feels like she's like super ancient, like a Shibi Baba, right? Yeah, but Bea to me is like there's a lot of strange things with her, and there's probably a lot of things not explained with her, right? And her actual connection to, you know, Bitter Goose and so on, right? She's probably saving him because like, oh, but you have his powers now, and he left me, so you know something weird with her, yeah. So I think that's probably why. And then I'm guessing Subaru next episode. It's gonna be like, I need to die, and be like, oh yeah, like Seppuku right style, because he's like, screw this shit. I think Bea is probably the strongest in the house. I think Bea is, you know, hiding all the powers. Yeah, but I think Beatrice is strongest in that house. I think Bea is hiding all the powers. I think she has all these weird powers, but her agenda is, but I think her, you know, agenda is very weird. She's like, I can't fight them because of this reason. I have this oath or something, or I promised I couldn't leave the library because of this reason 1,000 years ago, or something kind of weird, you know. She's locked away or something, right? Maybe she's one of the dead witches, right? It's something like that. That could be one thing, though. If she's dead, like with Echidna, she might be one of the dead witches, right? And she's stuck in the house, she can't leave the library. That could be added to it. Maybe she only has soul, right? I'm throwing it out there, but maybe Bea is just a soul like her, and she can't leave the library properly. Like, she's powerful, but she can't actually leave and fight people. That could be a thing, though. She's some kind of sealed away, you know, half her powers, right? Something like that. That's still more reasonable. But still, though, given that, I think again that Subaru will probably delete himself, right? Because she is like, I have to save you because you're connected to the book and to Bitter Goose one. And he's like, no, I need to die to save the girls, right? Maybe kill himself, probably. But yeah, that's the at zero. Good episode. Could be my favorite episode. Reinhardt. Reinhardt is like super OP. Reinhardt is hard to say. But Reinhardt, I think, has some, I don't know, it's like this OP, right? It's everything. He's an OP guy. He's an Isekai protagonist guy. Normal Isekai protagonist guy. He's just like an older anime character. I don't know with him, though, but he has like all the basic powers now, yeah. But, who's the strongest? I mean, it's probably the witch, right, himself. No, I don't know. What about it? But anyway, it'll be the end of this time. Next live stream is probably on Friday. Rent a Girlfriend. Can't do more of Peter. That last video got removed, so can't do that. So you guys drop that. I would say that here I can't do the anime Peter anymore. I mean, maybe, yeah, the anime can be done or was removed. Not family friendly, yeah. So that won't be the next stream. Probably be Rent a Girlfriend on Friday. So anyway, subscribe guys, press the like button, and have a great day.